articulates.
Right, I'm sure, articulates. Yeah. LeBron. Studio. Tree.
Check it. So many open doors, it's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. They're on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. The storm is here, but it won't stay. Where there is a will, there must be a way. Me have to win, come what may. Clasp my hands every day, I pray. Nah, I can lose cause me not confused. Every time positivity me choose. So many open doors, it's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. They're on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. Lyrics are pour from my heart. Tunes for you climb up the chart. Destiny create me path. Remain humble, don't exalt. Lockdown life rough. We can't do too much. Wait till COVID up. A big dance we a bus. Make sure you prepare yourself. Cause when the clock strike 12, things get dark, dark start back. You a go ball out hell. So many open doors, it's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. They're on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Okay, well, we'll get going. Welcome to the Superledger podcast, episode 7, on the 7th day of the new year, 2024. I'm your host, Kris. You can follow me on YouTube, where I have my channel, Coreum Concepts. I upload these podcasts there soon after and have a plethora of other content related to Coreum, Sologenic, XRPL, IBC, and a whole lot more these days. It's growing. The Superledger term was used by the Coreum team to describe Coreum and what it is capable of. It speaks to its connectivity with the XRP ledger, IBC, the ISO 222 standards it's compatible with, and all that make up the Superledger. We thought it was a great name. It encompasses everything I like to talk about and cover on my channel. My partners and I, Scott, Marco, and Articulate here, the co-host again today, started this podcast on behalf of the Coreum Community DAO in an effort to provide a reliable space for all community members, builders, developers, and even the Coreum team themselves to stop by to exchange ideas, information, and most importantly, value to the community. And all that is enabled by all of you that show up to listen to it. So I thank you all for joining me. If you wish to appear as a guest on the Superledger podcast or learn more about staking on Coreum or our DAO, you can head to CoreumCommunityDAO.com. Next week, the podcast, we're going to be having Lunarspace on. I'm really excited about that. We do have a partnership with them with the CAF LSI validator. So really excited to speak more on that next week. They were on the Flipper Hodl podcast this week with Leo and Ralphy, and it was very exciting to hear what they have going on, and look forward to learning more about that soon. So with all that, I think today's guest is Pulsara, one of the most talked about projects on Coreum here in the last little while. Articulate, he's my co-host again today. He's released a great bit of music here on OmniFlix Marketplace lately. Really love what he's doing out there. His latest song, I'm sure, has definitely become my anthem for 2024. I put this up on YouTube. You'll be able to hear it at the start of the podcast there, and and likely at the closing again, like I did last time. It's a great tune, great anthem for our community, and it's an honor and a pleasure to have him here today. Articulate, thanks for coming again today.
Thank you for having me, and thanks for showing up. We're getting ready to start. This is going to be a landmark interview. Pulsara is a brand new project on top of the Coreum blockchain ecosystem, and we're happy to have the team here with us today. So, without further ado, Kris, take it away, man.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's here more to talk about or hear what Pulsara has to say. If you would mind, take a moment, just introduce yourself to the community and your journey into blockchain Web3 and what you're currently building. And after that, we'll maybe dive more into what Pulsar is all about itself.
All right, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me in your podcast. It's a really nice opportunity to keep growing both on the current community and for the people to learn more about Pulsara. Right. Well, to give you, I guess, a little bit of an introduction, as you mentioned, I've been in the Web3 industry for a little bit over 5-6 years. I started working for centralized exchanges, and then move on into DeFi, right? With when I started working on the XRP ledger. After a few years, then Coreum came into existence, and I'm a big advocate of Coreum and what Coreum does and wants to do, right? So I said, like, this is the opportunity, this is the moment for me to be part of the ground floor of what Coreum is trying to do, right? So that's when Pulsara came into existence, or the conception of Pulsara came. Pulsara is meant to be a one-stop all Coreum, right? A one-stop for all Coreum things: token issuance, token management, dexes, and smart tokens. Whatever it comes from the Coreum team and the Coreum blockchain, Pulsara is aiming to build any tool, interface, or expand on those tools for the community to use, right? Um, Pulsara is also was incubated by Corners Capital, so we definitely have a great team behind into marketing, tech, and in general, everything. Right? It's been great working with this team, and Pulsara, it's here to stay.
That's great to hear. And so if I understand right, you would be one of the first projects out of the Corners Capital group. Is that correct?
Yes, one of the first projects out of there. So they definitely saw the potential of Pulsara and said, like, yeah, we want in, we want to help you grow this, to help you get it out there, right?
Excellent. Well, that's good. It's exciting. I was excited to see that when it was announced. When I found it, I just see nothing but good coming of it based on the team at Corenes there, and obviously their related passion about Coreum and its growth too. So, and what about the name Pulsara? Where does that stem from?
Well, there was a bunch of names being thrown out there, right? Like there was quite a storm of ideas. Pulsar, given that Coreum is, we know that Coreum also is like, basically the core of a planet, the core of a star, right? Like it could derive from there. So it's always, and we know that blockchain's always been a little bit of universe kind of related terms, right? We have cosmos, right? We have atom, we have all of that stuff. So it was deemed proper to have a name that resemble, or that refer to a either an astronomical event. So pulsars are always, as you all know, like they're big stars with like a really fast spinning, really fast moving astronomical event. So it's like, let's move out from there, let's do that. And then Pulsara came into existence. We said, like, oh, this is nice, this is it sounds catchy, it's easy on the tongue, like that's when we said, like, okay, Pulsara it is. And therefore Sara, the name of the token, came out from the name itself, right?
Well, it's a fitting name. You certainly came into the community with a bang. You stirred up a lot of excitement over what we're gathered here today to talk about a little bit more about the platform. One of the things that excited me most about the project was the a new term that I seen, the DAX, the DAX DAO component. Yeah, would you mind telling us a little bit more about how that might make Pulsara unique or the benefits of it for the Coreum community?
Yeah, of course. Well, the DAX was a term that we came up with after, well, defining is like, okay, there are DEXs, right? We already know. And there are like the, well, centralized exchanges as well. Um, and there are DAOs out there as well, right? So it's like, wait, but this is a DEX that is going to be governed by a DAO. So in a way, it's an autonomous DEX, right? It's an autonomous exchange, decentralized exchange. So we say like, okay, let's do the term decentralized autonomous exchange, given from all the features and functionalities and all the possibilities that the users can do with this, right? They will be able to propose new pairs, to propose what to do with the treasury of the DAO. Change the rewards. The community can change the rewards of the pools, right, to see how much they receive, which pool receives more, which pool receives less, which pool gets removed because, I don't know, let's say one token gets voted in and then it turns out to be a rug pull or scam or whatever, or simply the community lost faith on that project. The community itself can vote, can propose and vote into removing a pair or from the DAX, right? And that's what makes, I guess, the Pulsara DAX unique, given that it's fully community driven. They, of course, the Pulsara team will also vote and propose things into with the best interest of the DAX and the community in consideration. But as I said, anyone can come if they are already stakers in the in the DAX, in the DAO. Well, they can come propose voting, and it's like, okay, let's add this pair, let's remove this pair, let's make the DAX, the treasury of the DAX, to provide liquidity for an existing pair in the DAX, right? So the possibilities are endless. We have in the platform a section where everyone can create their proposal, submit it, and then, well, people can come here, see the proposal, vote it in, comment it out. There's a comment section there where people will be able to discuss before voting and see what's the action that is going to happen, right? So it's it's aimed to be fully community driven.
That's it sounds very, very good to me for sure. Many of us have come from the XRP ledger ecosystem and are anxiously awaiting the automated market maker to pass there. And do you see that all working together once the AMMs are live on XRPL, like once a two-way bridge is opened up between?
That would be a really expansion for both the XRPL and the Coreum chain, right? Like, imagine the possibility of having exotic pairs in the DAX of Solo with Sara, XRP with Core, any other token that lives on the XRP ledger. I don't know. I think there's they GateHub BTC or GateHub USD, right? Just bring it over to Coreum, have a Sara BTC pair. Like, the possibilities are endless with this, and it's with all the tokens that already exist on the XRP ledger. All those projects that are already well founded, they are already well established. They can come to Coreum and keep expanding their market, right? Keep expanding their own projects, and with the all the functionalities of Coreum, like the smart tokens and WASM for the smart contracts, possibilities are endless for everyone.
And so has Coreum does Coreum provide something technology wise that it drew you to it? Like, does it offer you something unique to build what you're building that's going to make it stand out?
Well, yeah, the smart tokens functionality, the native tokens, like there are that part is like, I don't know, the if everyone is familiar with the WASM and the smart contracts and on the Coreum side, I guess so, because it also applies for Cosmos and other Cosmos related chains. But that part is the part that made Pulsara able to exist, I guess, right? Like the possibility to create these smart contracts out of any language basically that is required. Of course, the popularity is on Rust, but you can create a smart contract out of nowhere, right? Sorry, out of whatever programming language. So that and the speed of the Corium blockchain also, it's a lot. Like the Coreum can receive, as we know on their website, 7,000 transactions per second, right? Like, of course, that depends on the traffic, that depends on the type of transaction, but that is the I guess the benchmark that they set up, right? And that is the technology that Pulsara liked in order to create Pulsara on top of the current blockchain.
And so have you done in development, or like, I'm not sure what stage you're at, but have you done any like load testing on test nets, just to see how that stands up?
Oh yeah, definitely. We already have our testing website for, well, internal, of course, where we are proposing pairs, removing pairs, adding liquidity, like doing all of the functionalities that we are saying that you are going to be able to do, and to making sure that everything's fine from day one, right? So yeah, we have tried all of these, issuing new tokens, and as of right now on the testnet environment, as soon as you issue a token, it will show up on Pulsara immediately, like probably 1 to 1 minute, 1 minute delay depending on the load of the chain, right? But in general, we have even seen, like, as soon as you click issue, the transaction is submitted, you change to the tokens page, and it's there, right? So people will be able to see the token, right? And then see their details, like initial supply, circulating supply, like all of the other items. There's going to be also a comment section where they can discuss the token itself, a rating where people can vote, hey, I think this is a good token, a bad token. So also the community will be able to see what the community thinks about each of these tokens that are on listed on Pulsara. These tokens, of course, are not Pulsara, are not from Pulsara. It's just we have the tool. We provide a tool for the users to create their tokens and manage them right there. So if you are the issuer of that token, immediately on Pulsara you will be able to mint more, to freeze, to whitelist, to do whatever you want. You can do with these tokens, right? As well as see them, as well as manage them, your tokens, right? Send the token to, well, make any transfer or whatever you need to do. So
So
yeah, testing a lot. This part is the token part is one of the main components that Pulsara wanted to put out there.
so and then with that launch pad out of the gate, are all smart token functionalities available to somebody creating their own token?
Yes, well, as of right now, the first functionalities are the native token functionalities, right? So you will be able to mint, to burn, to freeze, to whitelist. You will, once you issue your token, you will decide everything about the token, right? Like the features that is gonna be enabled on, like for example, there are, as of right now, there are 5 or 6 features on the native tokens, and where it's minting, burning, freezing, whitelisting, IBC enabled, and another related to smart contracts. You can decide which ones are going to be enabled on your token, right, on the blockchain, and then in the page of the token, if you are the issuer, you will be able to manage all of this. You will be able to manage if you mint more, if you burn certain amount of tokens, if you freeze the tokens of a certain account because maybe your token is centralized, or your token is like it requires KYC or whatever you need to do. Whitelisting, the same thing, right? IBC enabled to see that the token can be IBC. Further on, and as time passes by, we're going to implement even more capabilities for that, right? To handle more smart token capabilities.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. I really look forward to seeing how that goes. And then, so what would be the most exciting smart token feature that you see people utilizing? Making tokens, off your platform. Uh, what's one of the features that you think that's going to really interest people in the community?
Well, the smart token functionality is like basically you can have a smart token that has any specific feature without needing a smart contract behind it, right? Like we have on other types of chains. Um, in this case, right off the bat, well, people won't be able to handle those smart token functionalities. First, we're moving on with the native token functionalities, and then we're going to move into the smart tokens. Once we know that the native tokens is working perfectly fine, that it's working just as expected, we're going to start adding all that stuff. And the smart token capabilities are, well, basically, I cannot tell you what is the specific capability that I would be more excited about, because it depends on the token, right? It depends on whatever whoever created the token, what decided to add to that token, you know. So there is a little bit there's a hard time here, like trying to tell you what type of smart token functionality will be the best.
Right, I see. Yeah, you're speaking more to the smart contract side of it there. So, but the native capabilities like the minting, whitelisting, and then like there's a send fee feature, like works as a tax, that'll be available.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is part of the native tokens, from the asset model of the Coreum blockchain. Once you are issuing your token, you decide. Well, of course, you decide symbol, the subunit, the precision, the initial supply, the send commission rate, and the burn rate. Right? Those are, well, of course, two different ones. Send commission rate is kind of like a fee of transaction, a transaction fee that you are paying when you are wherever you are transferring the token, and then the burn rate, right? That's kind of like the same thing, but instead of sending the this percentage of fee, this fee percentage to a certain address, well, it gets burned, right? That is also going to be available right off the bat, because, well, as I mentioned, it's part of the functionalities of the asset models of the current blockchain.
And then as far as the Sara token itself, what functionalities does it come with?
Okay, so the Sara token won't have a send commission rate and won't have a burn rate, but it will have minting capabilities, it will have burn capabilities, and it will have IBC capabilities. So we, of course, the point of Coreum, the point of the of being like the connectivity of it is, well, to let also the tokens move around. Um, so we are going to enable IBC so Sara can travel around the Cosmos ecosystem, right? In general, to Osmosis, to Cosmos itself, to any other either Cosmos related chain with a relayer on. Minting mainly not because the token will be issued by the DAO. Nobody really owns the DAO, right? The community owns the DAO. So the minting capabilities can be only done by the DAO. Therefore, in order to mint more Sara, the community has to pass a proposal and then vote it in. And then if the proposal passes, then more Sara is minted, right? So it's not like one person will be able to decide if there is more Sara to be minted. There are several reasons why the community will want to mint more Sara. For example, I don't know, there's a bunch of Sara already staked into liquidity, into the DAO itself as well, and there's like little Sara around. Maybe, hey, maybe let's create a new pool, and we want to add more liquidity to that pool. We want to resupply the rewards contract, right? So the liquidity providers can still get rewards. Of course, everything is gonna be reviewed by the community, by Pulsara as well. It's like, hey, this we see that someone proposed to mint another 100 million Saras. We believe that this is not good. We believe that this is good, and, well, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the minting is gonna be decided by the community as well. Same thing as the burn capabilities, right? It's, of course, the other way around. Hey, we have too much Sara out there. Let's burn some, but it has to be done by a proposal, voted in, and executed. There is no one single person that will be able to decide these things by themselves. The other capabilities, the other functionalities. Sorry, it's um, whitelisting, freezing, and the smart contract related. The smart contract related, I think it's block smart contracts. So basically, what it does is it blocks the token to be transferred to a smart contract. Therefore, well, we don't want that. We want Sara to be out there, and actually the DAO is, well, smart contracts, right? So we cannot block that. That is one. The freezing and whitelisting, well, of course, that would centralize a little bit the token, right? So we don't want that. So those features are also not going to be enabled. And after issuing a token on the Coreum blockchain, these features are set and cannot be changed. So right off the bat, as I mentioned, only 3 functionalities are going to be enabled for Sara: minting, burning, and IBC.
Excellent. And so IBC, and that pretty much out of the box makes you able to interoperate on the IBC network and those 100 plus chains that support that.
Exactly, as long as there is a relayer to the chain in question, of course.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that takes us. Many are here to understand and learn about the tokenomics. So if I understand right, so far, I believe there's 400 million tokens going to be minted, and then that's going to stay that way until changed by the community.
So there is going to be an initial supply of 1 billion Saras, right? 400 million Saras to be airdropped to the Coreum holders and USDC holders from Noble, from the IBC transactions, right? Another 20% of that billion, the initial supply, so 200 million Saras are going to be sent to the treasury as an initial balance of the treasury. Another 10% is going to be sent to the rewards, to the vesting rewards. So 100 million Saras are going to be sent to the vesting reward contract, which will drip block by block some defined Sara to provide reward to the liquidity providers, right, on any of the pairs. And then the last 30%, well, that is going to remain on the team, divided on investors and the Pulsara team. So the 1 billion supply, it's going to be initial, and from there on, the burn and the mint, it's going to be decided by the community through proposals.
Okay, and then so the portion that's added out of the pool of 100 million block by block, that gets like released in timing with the Coreum blockchain block count, is that?
Yeah. That those blocks, of course, we're counting by the blocks of the Coreum blockchain. So we're still defining what is going to be the drip rate, let's say, because every block is going to be a certain amount of Sara. We're still discussing that amount to see to provide the best rate for this user, and for the rewards not to end too fast, but also not to take too much to get a good amount of rewards, right? Of whenever you are providing liquidity. But yeah, it's block by block. You will be able to, as you add liquidity to any pair, you can get into the pair and then see the rewards that you have accumulated there and claim them, or you can go to the vesting rewards to see what is the remaining amount of those 100 million, and also in there you will be able to see all the pools that you have provided liquidity on, and then claim the rewards of each of them, or all at the same time, as you wish. All the rewards are provided in Sara, regardless of the assets that have been provided liquidity.
Interesting. And is this going to go to like a test net before deployed, or are you just going to be launching when ready?
Yeah, well, right now it's already on testnet. We are testing, we're working on it, but as soon as we launch, it's going to be directly on mainnet, of course, with testing beforehand, before the release. But yeah, the release is going to be done on mainnet.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I meant to ask. Like, you're doing the testing in house? Is there going to be like the community able to participate in testnet, or is it just running
Right,
once deployed?
right now, given the time that we have to the release, is right now it's an in-house testing. We're making sure that everything is just fine. We don't want to, well, we don't want to release and make have any errors, basically, right? That everything goes fine, that everything goes well. So right now it's an in-house testing. Given that we also have to focus on the distribution after the snapshot, I think trying to do a community drive test, it's going to be a little bit like overwhelming. But of course, the Pulsar team will always here to bug reports, to issue reports, to feedback, and well, we will adapt accordingly.
Well, as close as it is, you seem quite confident, so I'm pleased with that indeed. And so I guess get into it for the people that may not have looked into it or heard about it yet. A snapshot is coming up. Maybe explain how to qualify for the airdrop that's coming, and there's a few different things to talk about within that once we get there.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, there is this 400 million Sara airdrop coming in, right? A snapshot to be done on January 19th at 7 p.m. UTC. So the requirements for this airdrop to be eligible is to have your Coreum health on the Coreum mainnet. So if you have your Coreum on the XRPL through Sums, through Sologenic, that is not eligible. You need to bridge it through the Coreum mainnet. It's quite easy to do and quite fast. Sologenic provides a bridge to do that. So if you have your Coreum on the XRPL, go and bridge it into the Coreum mainnet. If you have your Coreum on other Cosmos SDK chain like Osmosis for the liquidity pool that there is there, that also is not eligible. So I don't I don't know what is the unbonding time of these pools, but if you still have time, unbond it, transfer it to Coreum mainnet through the IBC relayer, and then that will be eligible. Once your Coreum is on the on the current blockchain, held on the current blockchain, it will be eligible regardless of its staking status. So if you are already you have your Coreum on your Coreum mainnet, and you are delegating your balance to be true to Cosmos Station, to whatever validator is out there, it's still gonna be eligible that amount, right? And also whatever is not state, right? So as long as your balance is on Coreum mainnet, it's eligible. And then we have three tiers for the airdrop, right? We have 90% of the 400 million. So we're talking about like 380, 60 million, something like that. It's gonna be airdrop for the wallets that hold more than 10k, well, 10k or more Coreum on their wallets, right? This is not like it's gonna be divided equally between all of the wallets that have more than 10k. It's gonna be, of course, amount based. So the more Coreum you hold, the more Sara you get. But that is having 10k or more Coreum is the threshold to be part of that bigger pool. Then we have another tier that is for the wallets that hold less than 10k Coreum, and again, same rules. Doesn't matter the staking status of your balance, but this tier only will be only eligible for 10 million Saras. So we want to reward the holders, the people that believe on the Coreum blockchain, right? Both on the Coreum blockchain and both on Sara, on the project. Because, well, we already know that there's a lot of airdrop hunters out there, and well, sometimes those affect the projects. And then we have the tier 3, that is USDC holders from Novel. So we know that there are IBC relayers, IBC channels, and then from Novel there is a USDC token, of course, that you can send to Coreum. Also, the people that hold USDC from Noble on the Coreum mainnet will also be eligible for the airdrop. They will be also a 10 million Sara part will be distributed to those holders, right? So that is the first structure of the airdrop. There's going to be a series of 4 snapshots in total, and then we have implemented well, anti-dump measure, if you may, in which users will be, well, kind of restricted in a way to dump more than 10% either from their Coreum balance or from the Sara balance, right? USDC, if you sell your USDC, you're still eligible for the order snapshots. We are just talking about Coreum or Sara. So if you already were part of the first snapshot, distribution date comes by, whatever, blah blah blah. You do whatever you want to do with it. You want to provide liquidity, you want to stake it, you want to do whatever. And then by the time of snapshot 2, let's say in this case, snapshot 2 would be on April 18th, at the same time, 7 p.m. UTC. At this moment, we're going to evaluate what was your balance of Coreum and Sara on the day of the distribution date, of course. Well, on the day of the snapshot for Coreum, on the day of distribution date for Sara. And if that amount, any of those amounts decrease more than 10%, then you are going to be automatically excluded from that snapshot, right, and from the subsequent snapshots. Therefore, this is to prevent any dumping, like a spree from people to both affect the Coreum project and the Sara and the Pulsara project. That way, well, after the snapshots happen, well, of course, there's no more measure or anything, but it's to maintain at least the beginning of the project for both Coreum and Pulsara in a more stable way.
No, that's excellent, and I really like how you excluded USDC from that, because I've had several people ask me, like, they're excited about the USDC component of it, but at the same time they want their USDC to be liquid, in the next year. So it's great to hear that has obviously been addressed by you guys already. And USDC, that's a big component of it. I'm assuming, like, you have to have that as a pair. So I assume that's why you have it in the snapshot, is to encourage people to do that. And I've been watching the IBC flows, and it's been like very, very quiet. Hardly anything's been moving. And co-host here and partner Articulate, he did a great video we've been sharing on Twitter and YouTube and in our Discord here on a little tutorial. And we just noticed here in the last couple of days, it's really ramped up. We've had several $1,000s move through that Noble relay here lately. So it's good to see. But could you maybe speak to the importance of that USDC and why you included it in the snapshot?
Yeah, definitely. It's because, well, we all know that USD right now, USDC and USDT basically are kind of like the base to know the price of any token out there, right? Doesn't matter the chain, doesn't matter the project. So, and we also included these the USDC from Noble to move and to incentivize IBC transactions, right? Like, IBC is a big component of the Cosmos ecosystem in general. So we wanted to incentivize that, to make people engage into it. And as well, as you mentioned, of course, there's going to be pairs with USDC on Pulsara. That's why we want to move that liquidity into the Coreum blockchain, so we can immediately have these kind of pairs out there.
And that's great, because in my experience, like, I've spending a lot of time learning. I need to learn a lot about the IBC network and Cosmos ecosystem. So I've been doing that. And the thing I find most exciting is when I talk to people that haven't heard about Coreum, they obviously understand the underlying tech, the IBC and built on Cosmos. So you don't have to explain that. And then when I tell them what Coreum does and is doing, without having to go through all that, they're immediately excited and eager to learn more about it. And several have immediately come over and really enjoy what they see and are participating in our community. So it's great to see because their ecosystem is far advanced as far as the DeFi component of this on IBC. So it's to me a powerful resource to have in our community. The members that are familiar with that to share their experiences and a lot of us come from the XRP ledger, just one address, one for all your assets, and I've been in the space for 7 years. Just myself coming over to Cosmos just recently because of the Coreum mainnet. I had to stumble around and figure things out. So I imagine there's a lot of people like me, and some that are probably even further behind where I'm at. So it's important, and I'm glad you reached out to the Cosmos community in that way, because there's obviously a lot of great minds and liquidity over there that I hope will come look at what we're doing here.
Yeah, definitely. We're really excited about the launch, of course, and about we are really the team really likes working with the Coreum blockchain. It's been it's quite fun to do that, right? To work on the Coreum blockchain. It's really intuitive up to an extent, and we're really excited about this, about growing the Coreum community, about actually helping Pulsara as a project, helping drive the increase of the Coreum knowledge out there, right? About the Coreum acceptance of the Coreum. What's the word? Sorry, it just escaped my tongue. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
That's yes, and so a question I had, we talked about the timing of the snapshot and the tokens being distributed. The DAX itself, when's its scheduled go date, if there is one?
Yes, it's gonna be on the January 26th of this year, of course. So it's gonna be released 2 days after the distribution date.
Wow.
So right off the bat, as soon as you get your Sara, just wait 2 days, and then you will be able to start adding liquidity, staking, proposing, voting, whatever is going to happen, right? Whatever you want to do with it, you will be able to do right there. So there is a lot of questions that have been asked in the support channel and the thing about the wallets of Sara, or the wallets that are eligible for Sara airdrop, right? So basically, the wallet doesn't really matter as long as your address it starts with core. If your address starts with core, then basically your wallet is already available. On the Pulsara team, we are working already talking with wallets like Cosmos Station, like Leap, like all of that stuff, to support Sara in their wallet, right? To display Sara, to be able to see it, to see your balance, to do that. We are still working on that, of course. We are still talking with their teams, but right off the bat, let's say that at this point, by the time the distribution comes, where there is no wallet yet that will be displaying Sara, that is not a really big problem, right? Regardless if the Cosmos Station, if Leap, if whatever, regardless if they show Sara or not, your Sara is going to be on your wallet in the blockchain. And as soon as the platform goes live, once you connect with your Cosmos Station, Leap, Kepler browser wallets, that's the main ones that we are supporting, you will be able to see your balance in the platform and use it and send it and provide liquidity and do whatever you want to do with it, right? Of course, as I mentioned, we are aiming to have the Sara token supported on those wallets, on every wallet that supports Coreum chain, so people can, they don't need to worry about that. But I actually wanted to discuss that, to mention that for all the people that are wondering about that part.
Well, that's excellent. Great information you provided so far. I've been kind of hogging the show for my co-host Articulate. I know he knows I've been excited about this podcast here for a while now. So Articulate, did I leave anything out that you want to ask or add to that?
Well, you did a great job so far, and thank you, the representative from Pulsara is here today, and you've done a great job as well providing information for the community that they were eager to get answered. I know you speak about the team a lot. Could you just take a few minutes to highlight your team a little bit?
Well, yeah, my name is Alberto. I am the founder of Pulsara. The team is still growing. We have help from the Cornest team. Right now, they are the ones helping both in the tech and the marketing area. So the Cornest team right now, it's the Pulsara team, right? As Pulsara keeps growing, we're gonna be introducing more team members, more um, to any level, right, from entry level employees to director levels. So yeah, as of right now, I'm the founder of Pulsar, and the whole team behind Pulsar right now is a Corners team, which they have a lot of experience in the Web3 and in the crypto industry.
Nice. And just a quick question. With regards to the future of Pulsara and your roadmap, do you look at doing any strategic partnerships down the road in terms of introduction of new DeFi protocols and such, looking forward into the future?
Well, yeah, the roadmap of Pulsara, it's we aim to do partnerships with whatever keeps the DeFi community and the Coreum community grows, right? So we of course aim to also try to list Sara on exchanges, try to move Sara to other Cosmos SDK chains, to other systems. Like the idea of Pulsara is any partnership that will help the Coreum community and the Pulsara community and the Pulsara project, of course, to grow is a partnership that we are interested in.
Nice. With regards to security, I know people may have questions, and they probably are curious. And for probably those who are first-time, consumers of this content with Coreum and what we're doing, how does Pulsara prioritize security and compliance to ensure safety of users' assets and maintain regulatory standards?
Right. So that is a really important part of Pulsar, right? Well, that we care about, and we made sure that the smart everyone here, I'm pretty sure, of most of you are familiar with Astroport, right? Also, a DEX built on the Cosmos. Um, so we are they also made public their smart contracts, right? For that, they are public, they are open source and things like that. So those contracts, we use those contracts to create it on Coreum, right? So we already know that they are production ready, production tested contracts that are safe and are secure, and those contracts are already audited, right? The Astroport contracts. So we made sure that we are using whatever is safe on out there, whatever is already secure, it's already well proven to work, right? Of course, once it's out there, Pulsar is also going to make our smart contracts open source, so people can just look at it, you can check it out. And of course, everything, as we know, on the Coreum blockchain, everything is public, anonymous but public. So of course, we are gonna publish all the smart contract addresses that are related to Pulsara DAX, the DAO, the vesting, the proposals. Any address that is related to the Pulsara DAX will be published, so you can go check the code of the smart contract, see the open source, see what's going on, and everything is gonna be out there for the community to review, to feedback on, to whatever they want to do. Even if someone says like, "Hey, the smart contracts of Pulsar are open source. I want to create my own DEX, my own DAX." Well, cool. Go out there, do it. Right. That's the point of Pulsar and the Coreum community, to be open source, to be out there, to be decentralized, to no one to be behind one single thing.
Nice. Thank you for that, Berta. And just my last one, real quick. I just wanted to find out. I know you touched on the community's role in terms of the platform and what they'll be able to do with making decisions. How does Pulsara's role play into that? What role will you guys be playing with regards to community involvement and just overseeing stuff?
we are going to be another member of the community. We are going to propose as well as for anything that we think is best for the community and for Pulsara, of course, with the best interest at heart for everything. So even Pulsara team, even if we propose something that we think it's in the best interest, but the community doesn't like it, the community is like, no, I don't want that. We don't want that. It's not going to happen. The community is going to vote no, and it's not going to happen. As much as even if we are the founders, we are the developers or whatever, the community still has the last word on this, right? We're still, as I mentioned, we're still going to be part of the staking, right? We're going to have certain stake into it to be part of these decisions, because we also want the best for the community, and we want the best for the Pulsara team and the Coreum blockchain as well. So the involvement of Pulsara is going to be the same thing. We're going to be reviewing and discussing every single proposal that comes out there, either from Pulsara itself, either from another member of the community, from anywhere. And we're, of course, on any proposal, we're gonna publish our opinion on that. Hey, yeah, this proposal looks good because it can help grow Pulsara, this, like that. No, this proposal looks bad because it might look this and that, or this just looks like definitely a really bad thing, right? So even if Pulsara says this is the worst proposal ever to be published, and the community still likes it and says yes, well, it's going to be executed, and it's gonna drive the future of Pulsara, of course, of the DAX itself. And that's the key part of Pulsar, right? That is going to be fully community driven.
Thank you, Alberta. I'll turn it over to Kris once more if you have any more, and then we'll start inviting people. If you have any questions, you could start requesting up, and then we'll flow them in as you come up, Kris.
Yeah, no, that's been great. I appreciate all the information you've shared. I do want to leave some time. I didn't ask how long you have today here, so I appreciate the time you spent. Do want to leave a bit of time for the community to come up and definitely ask. So yeah, articulate if you want to grab some mics if they request there. And then as far as the project there, if you want to take a few minutes, the floor is yours to wrap up anything we may have left out or message to the community. Oh, sorry, one more question I had maybe before we get to that is the communication. I was listening to you articulate there. Communication, there's a lot of decisions that are going to be coming up for these proposals. Communication's obviously a big component of that. Like, people have to vote and pass these things, but you have to educate yourself. So as an offer to you, if there's anything that we can do here at the podcast or my channel, Coreum Concepts, to help you get the word out, or Discord at the Coreum Community DAO, more than willing to talk to you and help out with communication anyway, because that, to me, that's the most important thing, that people participate in this governance, whether it's on Coreum or Pulsara, but do so in an educated way so we can maximize the benefit of it. So what is your portal just basically going to be the main place for communication as far as those proposals?
Yeah, well, we're gonna use any communication channel the community is on, right? We are going to do it on Twitter. We're gonna do Medium articles. And I definitely appreciate you offering your space, your platform to also put these communications out. So all the communication channels that we have available where the community is, we're gonna use them. Medium article, Twitter, Telegram, the Coreum Concepts space, the Superledger podcast, everything that any communication channel that we can use, we're going to use it. Because you are right, the communication on the governance, on any governance related feature, it's key to make sure that the proposal is, in the case specific on the proposals, that is reviewed by by most of the members of the community that have a participation in, and well, so everyone can know and decide what is going to happen. All right.
Yeah, that's great. And I see a couple people up that have some questions, and I know both of them will have great questions. So I'll definitely leave some time to get to that. And again, you've been great. You've provided a wealth of information for our community. If you have to get going, I don't mind, just leave whenever it's appropriate for you. Leave a minute to wrap up if you like, but we'll get to some questions. Kris, you were here first, had your hand up. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Definitely excited. If you don't mind, I'll rapid fire these. I have so many questions, but I don't want to take up too much time from other community members. So the first question I wanted to ask, well, first I'll just say I'm happy to hear that you use Archway as a kind of a primary example for the exchange. It's such a good exchange already, so I can't wait to see what you guys do with it. Will Pulsara primarily focus on Coreum-based assets, or are you going to include a lot of IBC assets as well?
The Pulsar is going to be focused on every asset that lives on Coreum. If it's native asset, good. If it's IBC asset, good. Right? So that's the main. Those are the main things that we're going to focus on. Both Coreum native assets and IBC assets. We given with the Coreum functionality of the asset model, where they can be like in one single transaction you can issue your whole project, right? Basically your whole thing. It's amazing, and with the IBC capabilities as well, then we can expand and, as I mentioned, create these exotic pairs on Pulsara. So both were going to be equal priority for Pulsara.
Okay, and will the primary listings be focusing on pairings with Core token or more with Sara token?
Well, both, right? We're gonna have one of the pairs that's gonna be it's gonna be from the beginning is gonna be Sara Core, of course. But yeah, as I mentioned, it's not that Pulsara will decide these pairs, right? The community will decide them. We're gonna launch an initial list of pairs, of course, and even after it's released, the community, let's say the community wants to remove the Sara Core pair, well, they will be able to do it. You know what? We want to create all the tokens that exist on the Coreum blockchain pair with Core. They can propose it, and it can be voted in, right? So yeah, it's not about Pulsara deciding the pairs, it's the community. So if you, for example, you say like, oh, you know what, there's this token called ABC, and I wanted I would like to see a pair of ABC with Core, ABC with Sara, ABC with USDC, then you can come and propose them. So it's about you, about the community, not about what Pulsara wants, right?
Okay, and then I got two more quick ones. Freezing the assets, will that be toggled on by default when you create a token, and can it be toggled off? And is it only the contract or token creator that controls freezing an address, or does Pulsara have any hand in that for regulatory purposes?
No, Pulsara won't have any hand in that. Yes, it's gonna be toggled off. Every single feature is gonna be toggled off from default on the form of issuing the token. You will be able to toggle on each and every one of them if you want to. So yeah, we don't want to enable all of them out by default, because what if you forget or you don't really want freezing or whitelisting, right? Once issued, you only the issuer of this token, so let's say you in this case, only you will be able to manage minting, burning, freezing, whitelisting, whatever capabilities you enabled on your token. Pulsara won't have any possibility to do this, because, as I mentioned, it's decentralized, so everything is with your keys, right? And you hold your own keys. We don't have any keys from anyone.
Okay, perfect. And last question, I believe you mentioned the send commission. That's probably going to be like a small tax that's built into each transaction that the user pays when they send your token. Is that correct? Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, as that is also part. All that is part of the Coreum blockchain, right? Of the asset model. So if you want more information about every specific thing, you can go into the Coreum docs. But yes, the send commission rate is basically just a percentage of the amount whenever it's transferred, and that will be sent to the issuer address, right? As well as a fee, as a transaction fee, basically. And the burn rate is basically the same thing, but rather than send it to the issuer address, it gets burned. So yeah, you will be able to set those rates on the form as well. It's like, hey, you know what? Every time someone transfer my token, I want 50% commission fee. It's like, well, yeah, you can do that. I mean, no one is going to transfer your token, but you can do that. But yeah, it's going to be definitely a possibility to do both commission rate and burn rate on the form right off.
So on the commission rate, I was looking at the documents. It says you can choose a value between 0 and 1. So your commission can be a percentage of a token, any percentage of a token, basically.
Yeah, but it's a percentage of the transaction, of the amount of the transaction, right? So I believe that if you put like 1%, well, 0.001, then from that amount is going to be sent directly to the issuer, and well, that depends on the percentage.
Okay, just to highlight, I did put the developer docs in the Jumbotron up top. So if you are interested in learning more about what we're talking about, you could click the link and find out more. Devon, we go to you next. Are you there, Devon? All right. While we wait for Devon, let's go to Cookie Crypto. You had a question?
Is somebody speaking? I'm not sure. I can see that articulate mic went off, but I can't hear anybody.
He was asking if you was available to ask a question, Devon. I can hear you.
You might have to drop and come back.
Yeah, I dropped him down to try and come back. Go ahead there.
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good, thank you.
So, question for the Pulsara guys regarding IBC and creating pools. Is there going to be a fairly swift move to create pools that emulate what's been done on Osmosis with the Coreum pool?
Yeah, definitely. Regardless of as I mentioned, regardless of the token that it is, if it's a native token or an IBC token, you will be able to go to the proposal page, create a proposal. It's like, hey, what action do you want to do? Oh, I want to propose a new pair. There's gonna be two fields in which you will be able to put the denom of the token, so the unit and the issuer on both sides. The platform will automatically look for that token, and the chain will let you know if it exists or if it doesn't. Of course, if it does exist, it will allow you to propose it, and that's it. Like, you will be able to do this with, even if you don't know any programming, any code. Everything with clicks. You just need to know the issuer and the subunit of the token and propose it immediately. You can just, of course, put a title of the proposal. Let's say Sara solo pool, right? Like, let's say like we do that. And then in the description you can put like, hey, yeah, I believe that on the Sologenic community, and I like the Pulsara community, so we want to create a pool to trade these tokens between each other, blah blah blah. And then you can publish it, and then you can actually share the link on your community, on the Pulsara community channels and everything like that, to say, hey guys, I propose this pool, let's vote for it or vote against it, whatever the community wants to do. And yeah, but there is not gonna be any programming or coding required for you to propose a new pool, regardless if it's an IBC token or a native Coreum token.
That's brilliant, because one of the sort of the biggest hurdles is obviously liquidity. So establishing pairs with the likes of Injective and Celestia will be massive for bringing across liquidity from the overall ecosystem.
Yes, we are thrilled about all of this, the proposal section. I want to see what the community is how they're gonna help Pulsara future.
Thank you for your question, Cookie Crypto. We're going to move over to Devon. Welcome to the stage, man. How are you? I don't think you could hear me again. Kris, you want to?
Devon, if you can hear me, I don't know if you can hear articulate, but go ahead if you can hear me.
Yeah, he may be having signal issues or something.
Yeah, well, we can move on. That's fine. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to come on up. As mentioned earlier, you've been more generous with your time and left a great amount of information with the community. I really appreciate it. Education and knowledge is key in this. We want everybody to have a good experience coming over here. I could tell you the interest you've generated in our community is huge, but I could tell you I interact a lot with the XRP community spaces and same on IBC. You've caught a lot of attention on multiple chains, and for a Coreum holder and one that operates a validator, very exciting because I can see them all looking at us and interested and excited on what you're building. And I really appreciate the time you've given us today to explain that. And if there's anything you want to wrap up with, or if we left out, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I really appreciate you inviting me to this podcast, and I'm more than thrilled about the launch. I am really excited about how the community is gonna help Pulsara thrive, right? And how that also will affect to the Coreum blockchain. Because if the Coreum blockchain grows, Pulsara grows. If Pulsara grows, the Coreum blockchain grows, right? It's a really good synergy that it's out there. And as you mentioned, all the other Cosmos chains and even non-Cosmos chains like the XRPL that once with the bridge that the Coreum team is working on, it's just gonna be like a huge interchain, right? Like in which at some point in the future, there's not gonna be any problem. You're not gonna care in what blockchain you are. You're just gonna say, "Oh, I have to move to that one just to do whatever I want." Cool, let's do it, and it's gonna be easy and without any hassle and a really smooth experience, right? So we are looking forward to that as well. I believe, Ralphie, you also had a question.
And if I want to highlight that Reza is in the building. He's the co-creator of Solargenic and Coreum. I don't know if he wanted to, come and touch on the topic a little bit or say anything. But we also have the a few minutes if you want to say something, sir.
And Ralphie, I don't know if you stepped down. I did send you another mic if you wanted to come up. Sorry, I didn't see you there, but more than happy to have you up to speak.
Hey guys, I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing just happened. X just kicked me out, and my app started like updating automatically. It was super weird. But anyway, yeah, I'm a little sketched out by that. There was a little bit of a misconception when it comes to that actual airdrop and how it's gonna work. And some of the ones that qualify for the tier one, so when you have more than 10,000 Corium, they're under the impression that if you spread out several different wallets with more than 10k Corium, that they're gonna get more Sara airdrop to them versus holding it all in one wallet. Could we clarify that aspect of the airdrop a bit though? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's as you well said, it's a misconception. It doesn't really matter if you have 100k Corium split in 10 wallets. You're still gonna receive the same amount if you had it on the same wallet, because it's not about splitting the amount fairly or equally into all the wallets that have 10k Corium or more, regardless of that or of their actual amounts, right? So let's say that the Corium, that the snapshot and the ratio after calculating and everything, let's assume that the ratio is 1 to 1, right? To just to make an easy number. So if you have in one single wallet, you have 100k Corium, then you're gonna get 100k Sara. If you have 10 wallets with 10k Corium each, well, each one of those wallets is gonna get 10k Sara. So it is a misconception that says that the more wallets you have with 10k Corium, you're gonna get more Sara. Well, not really. It depends on your amount of Corium that you held. So I don't see the point of doing that. right? So it's about the amount of Coreum you have, not about the amount of wallets that you have.
Beautiful. Thank you. You explained it way better than I did. I was that's what I was trying to explain to people, but it doesn't come out smooth as you just did. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And space has been amazing.
Thank you very much for to all the members that have joined this space. I'm really thrilled about chatting with you guys to explain what Pulsara, where Pulsara comes from, where Pulsara is going, what is Pulsara, and well, we're really excited about the launch, right? So mark it on your calendars. January 26th is the launch. January 19th is the snapshot. January 24th is the distribution date.
Oh, that's beautiful. Powerful, powerful podcast again today. Thank you so much. You're welcome to stay. At this point, we're just going to open up the floor, and you're welcome to stay and participate in that. But also, if you have other things to do, I'm happy you came by today. And for the community here, I think we'll agree that he's definitely left us all the information we need to be ready for this. If you need anything further, reach out to the community members here. We're more than happy to help and guide you through this, because it's, I think, going to be an excellent opportunity for our community. And many of us have been trying our hardest to spread that word, and Articulate's been putting up great tutorials and getting USDC over. So if you need help with that, come to our Discord. We can do a screen share, get you helped out. It's not terribly complicated, but at the same time, it's a little clunky if you've never done it before, and sometimes more enjoyable if you have somebody to help you through that. So we're more than happy to do that, and these spaces are meant to provide you the opportunity to ask any question, any project, anything that's going on. Just try and keep it somewhat relevant to the task at hand here. But let's open it up.
That sounds great. Yeah, I can definitely stay for a few more questions, because well, given that close to the snapshot distribution and release, well, the Pulsar team is a little bit like crazy and all over the place, right? So, but yeah, let's open up the floor for a few more questions, and then yeah, and then we continue.
That's good. That's great. I see Kappas here. Devon, if you can get a good connection, come back. You always ask great questions. I just knocked you down just because you're having problems there, but I'll try and get you up if you can get back. But go ahead, Kappa.
Okay. Thanks for hosting this space. All you guys are wonderful hosts, and Alberto, thanks for doing DEX. I love the idea. That's awesome. And I guess back to the last point. People are creating multiple wallets over 10K Coreum to kind of game the system. Because there's that 10K, can't sell more than 10K of Pulsar or Coreum. So are you doing anything to combat that, or not really?
Well, at the end of the day, if they want to have 10 different wallets and sell off one part of one of the wallets rewards and everything like that, well, we cannot really do that, because well, just tracking all of those things, it's all going to be a little bit of quite, it's going to delay even distribution date, right? To do that. So I mean, at the end of the day, this point of the as you mentioned, these wallets, well, that wallet is not going to be the first wallet is not going to be what's another thing, eligible. Like, let's say that they have 3 wallets and they sell off of one, well, that one is not going to be eligible anymore. So at the end of the day, the anti-dump measure still works, right? Um, because it's not like, oh, just because you have a split, still your wallets are available. No, it's still that. And how can you track all of that directly to see that actually one single person owns those wallets? What if I actually have an amount and I just send a friend of mine, like, hey, so you can be part of the airdrop? I sell it off like off chain, right? I just send it to you and you give me the money. Uh, like, what is, how can I say, cash, right? You give me the money cash of the Coreum, so you can also participate on the airdrop, and then the friend is the one that actually sells off. How can you punish the other one? How can you know that didn't happen, right? Of course, as you mentioned, creating multiple wallets and all that stuff, but well, at the end of the day, it's not about cheating the system. It's just they are still not going to be eligible if they sell on one of those wallets.
Well, and the
Yes.
other thing is the ones left will be the ones that you want to be participating in your governance and everything else. You can't stop everybody, but you're going to be left with the people that are basically controlling the governance moving forward.
Exactly, and well, if the community keeps growing and the community believes in this thing, well, the Sara price, Sara value can increase, and then those people that sell off, we're gonna be like, why did I, right? So yeah, let's show them basically. It's like, hey, when the community is really close, great things can happen, right? And if you sell off, you are opting to be not to not be part of that community. So do we really want to have people like they don't want to be in it?
Yeah, definitely some very good points. Thank you. I appreciate that. And one last uh, question would be, I know you're tight with Coreum and Bob. Can we expect Pulsara to be listed on the same CEXs as Coreum?
Well, we definitely aim to be listed on any CX that actually helps the Pulsara project grow, right? And of course, if any of these CXs they already have Coreum, well, the integration of Pulsara of Sara token will be easier for them to do. So yeah, we probably will target those exchanges first, and then move forward to other ones.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cap.
Thank you for your question.
Thanks.
I see Devon is back. We
Yes,
good?
I can hear you now. I can hear you. I don't know why every time I clicked speaker, I just could not hear you guys. I was going out.
All right, so we'll take Devon and then we take Brendan. I know you came up, but Devon actually first. He just had some problems. Go ahead, Devon.
Okay. Yes. Great space, by the way, guys. My question is, I wanted to know about KYC and AML. Right. Coreum has tried to set a standard for compliance with these things. So are you guys going to have KYC natively built in? Is that a function that'll come later on with time? How are you guys looking for KYC?
As of right now, we don't have any objectives about KYC. Future down the line, if more if that is needed for Pulsara to implement, then we will. Pulsara is aimed to be decentralized and, of course, non-custodial solution. So whatever the people need KYC for, I guess right now there are other solutions out there that they can use in combination with Pulsara, right, to provide their services. If down the line there is, like, for example, a Coreum native KYC solution, let's say, I don't know, maybe there is one, maybe there is not. Then we definitely will we implement this Pulsar a UI to help that tool to be out there for the community and to use it. But as a in-house Pulsara KYC solution, we don't have any plans for it.
Thank you for that. Also, I wanted to ask about the tokenomics again, if you can go over that, because I kind of, when you were explaining it, kind of went out on my end. Could you explain the tokenomics again?
Yeah, definitely. So there's going to be an initial supply of 1 billion Saras, 400 million to be airdropped to the Coreum holders, as I already explained the tiers. If anyone has any question about that, we can go quickly through it. But yeah, after that 400 million, so the 40% of the initial supply being airdropped, 20% is going to be to the treasury of the DAO, of the DAX, right? So to have an initial balance where the community can decide what to do with it, to provide liquidity to other pools, to even say, like, hey, the community, let's pay for a listing fee on this CX that we all want. So cool, let's do that, right? So we can that the treasury will be basically just for whatever the community wants to do with it. Then 10% is going to be to the best in rewards contract, which will be block by block dripping off a certain amount of Sara to reward the liquidity providers of the pools, right? That the amount or the rate that is going to be dripping off, it's still to be decided, but we want to do a certain amount that, well, the contract doesn't run out of funds really fast, but also that it's not too slow to get rewards, right? We're trying to look for that sweet spot for those rewards, and the last 30% is going to remain on the team and investors. So yeah, are you still there, Devon, or you have problems again?
I heard. Yeah, I think I went out again at the last second because I can see your mic going off. I'm all right. I'm just gonna stay on listener for now, but I do appreciate your answers. I heard the majority of it. In case you can hear me.
Awesome. Well, just as you said, you missed the last part. Well, the last part, the last 30% is just gonna stay on the team and the investors.
Thank you for your questions, Devon. Thank you, Alberto. We're going to move to Brendan. Go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, just a quick question, and it's probably it's pretty simple. I think I probably even know the answer. But if you're delegating to different multiple validators, does that affect your airdrop in any way? If you have some over there and some over here, I know it's probably all on the same address, is what I'm assuming.
Yes, as long as your current balance doesn't the airdrop, you are gonna still be eligible regardless of your staking status of your balance. If you are on 3 different validators, we are gonna count in the balance that you have staked on those 3 different validators.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that as long as it comes from the same address. Everything's fine.
Perfect.
If you own 3 wallets, because I don't know, one's yours, one's your friend, and you help to manage it, you're still gonna get the balance. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, I was just clarifying. I figured. I kind of figured. I just wanted to run it through. I also, lastly, I validate through Citadel One wallet. Is that is that part of the Coreum mainnet wallet qualifications?
I believe that that it is, as long as your address, your Coreum address, starts with the word core, wherever you have your core held or wherever you are staking from, it starts with the word core, then you are good to go. That means your wallet is on the mainnet of Coreum.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good then. Thanks for having me on. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for your question.
No problem. Jason, you're up next. Jason, are you there? Maybe not. All right. I think, Kris, I'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, well, I like the way you framed that, Alberto. I think for us in the community, when people are asking, that's just the easiest way to frame it. As long as your address starts with core, and that address, if you want to qualify for the 10K, as long as that particular address has 10K, it doesn't matter where it's validated, you're good to go. That's nice and simple. Appreciate that.
Yes, exactly. So as you all know, follow Pulsara if you don't on Twitter. Please join our Telegram channel. There's where a lot of the community members discuss about Pulsara. Also ask questions if you have any. You can email us at support@pulsara.io with any other question that you may have. We are also trying to reply as much as we can, of course. But yeah, we are thrilled to have such a community that is interested, that is engaging into Pulsara, and how the community welcome Pulsara onto the Coreum community, under the Coreum ecosystem. That was really great, and we really appreciate that, guys. So, and again, for you, Articulate and Kris, really thank you for having me on this. On sorry about that. On your podcast, on the Superledger podcast, that it's really nice to engage with the community. I really appreciate it, and thank you for opening this platform.
Well, thank you. It's I'm just thrilled that you joined us here today, and really excited about the project. You're going to have the benefit of one of the early projects, so all attention's on you. And anytime, you're more than welcome. Open door here. Same with my channel. You know how to reach me.
Thank
Again,
you.
thanks again, and really look forward to 2024 and Pulsara and the Sara token.
Yep, this is gonna be the year of Pulsara.
Beautiful.
All right,
Well,
guys. Well, I guess I think my time is my time is up. So I guess we can wrap this up. And I appreciate everything Kris articulate for all this space.
Thank you very much. Great to have
yes,
you.
thanks again.
Thank you everyone for being here, and well, I'll see you around on the Pulsara channels, Twitter, Instagram, Telegram, email. We will be right there for you guys.
Right on. Thanks again. All right. Well, we will keep going here as usual. We can kick around whatever's on mind. If you just want to celebrate the good news and what we learned here today, we can certainly talk about that some more. I know all my questions have certainly been answered, and much like Ralphy said, we have now a couple tools to explain what's going on to the community that's inquiring a little bit better and clear, because there is a lot more interest on this project than I expected in the last few days. I can tell you it's really ramping up. So great to see, and I appreciate everybody in the community that's helping out. I mentioned before Articulate. He's done some great tutorials on not just the USDC Noble thing. He's also got a great tutorial on X about using the WHelp test tokens to test out that DeFi hub there. So yeah, we're here. This is what this platform's for, is to help give you guys the resources you need to thrive and build in this community. I encourage people to build in this time while it's quiet. We have some powerful tools being made available to us. You're going to be able to launch a token on Pulsara utilizing the Coreum features, like some of the smart token features. So, really sit down and think about what that could do, the change that you can make with it. I know everybody's got a lot of ideas, and we got a really good, tight community here, and a lot of bright minds and resources to make things happen. So don't be scared to reach out, ask questions, and pitch your ideas, because you just never know what'll happen.
Yeah, perfect. That is great. And well, I got to say goodbye, guys. Thank you very much for everything, and I'll see you around.
All right. Here.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. The other thing to celebrate, I mentioned earlier, Articulate has released some music on OmniFlix. OmniFlix does run a validator on the Coreum network. They have a powerful platform over there. I put some videos on there also. I put up a interview he and I did this week. Powerful interview. I've known Articulate for the last while here, and he blew my mind. It was a great story. And his song has definitely become the anthem for 2024 for me, and I know many members in the community have been getting really great feedback on what you put out there. So I encourage everybody to check out that interview if you haven't already. Articulate, would you like to speak to, put you on the spot, you like to speak to your latest release?
Yeah, I was actually adding the link for the interview. Sorry about that. So yes, thank you, Kris. I just want to say that, as a musician and becoming a member of this community, even Web3 in general, but a member of the Coreum community, there's something special about Coreum and the Coreum community and what we're building and the minds that are here. And I said something while speaking to Kris last night, Coreum has decorum, if you could decipher what that is. But that means that we're on a different level, mentally and just ethically what we're doing. We're building some of the smartest technology you can find on planet Earth. And just glad to be in the nucleus of, what this is building out to be. And as a musician, I can't wait to mint, my music NFTs on Coreum blockchain when the marketplaces are available. But I did a song maybe 2 to 3 years ago during the pandemic, which is called I'm Sure. And pretty much that song is just an affirmation to what I was experiencing at the time. I had a song that was on like about 10 to 12 radio stations across the country, USA. national radio station, and it's called Pretty Penny. It was doing very well, and I was just enjoying the moment, and I was like, just reflecting, and the first things that came to my mind was, so many open doors. It's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. And I did that song. I recorded it. I kept it. I didn't release it. And shout out to this Love Clicks that's in here, CJ. She is a person I did music with as well. And we have a couple of songs. She's on the Howdy Neighbor track as well. That's on Omniflix. And having that song, I just knew it wasn't time yet. And fast forward to where we are today, and the momentum Coreum is building, and where I found myself. The song released itself pretty much. I couldn't hold it back any longer. These are the words that me, and I know a few members of this community as well, are experiencing right now. The open doors, and the fact that things are ramping up, and just the interoperability that's building, not just blockchain wise, but us, the human activity, as
Oh,
Henry
did I
and
rug or
Patrick.
did Articulate rug?
Uh, oh, you can't hear me. Can you guys hear me at all?
I could still hear you articulate.
Okay, I think Kris kind of rugged. Yeah,
Okay,
but
I'm back. We're good. Sorry
okay.
about that.
Whew. All right. So I was just saying that the interoperability we're building, and I was just referencing Lunarspace's human activity mining protocol. We're doing this not just on the Web3 blockchain space, but person to person. We're building a network that can't be broken, and what Coreum is doing, bringing people together, bringing communities together, building something that is not currently present in the blockchain space, and the bridges they're building across chains right now to do something historically that has never been done. It just speaks to the words of that song. I'm sure it's on Omniflix. I did do a release to people who had gotten the Howdy Neighbor music NFT. I gave them that track as just a thank you for supporting me. But that kind of minted mostly out, and I just put up a few more of the I'm sure 25 copies that is available in the Omniflix, and that's the IBC enabled chain as well. And just to have that song be the theme song. It rhymes with core. I'm sure 2024. There's so many things that make it a moment for me, myself personally, for Kris, who has been playing it nonstop, and other people who have been giving me feedback that, those are I can't stop playing that song. It's on heavy rotation and repeat right now. So thank you for the members of the community who are supportive of my music. Thank you for embracing me as a reggae artist. I think it's the first reggae artist on Omniflix and the first reggae artist in Coreum. So I do see a future with music and blockchain and what we're building, and I can't wait to apply smart token technology to my releases in the future.
I appreciate it. I am kind of rugging, so we're going to do my best to hang on here because I do want to keep going for a bit here. Yeah, powerful interview. I encourage you guys to look at it. I did my absolute best to keep this one shorter. It is the shortest interview I've done, and I did it intentionally because not everybody's like me and likes to sit down for a couple hours. I understand, but I did make it short. It's extremely powerful, and I hope you can all enjoy at least the song. Devon, I see your hands up. We're going to try this again.
Man, I can hear all you guys perfectly now. When the interview was finally over, I had so many questions, but it was still great from what I could hear in the audience. Did he answer if they had clawback feature? Because I know he said he had freeze. Did they have clawback?
Not on his token, not on the Sara token. It won't be enabled. No, there was just the three features, minting. I wrote them down. Don't have it in front of me at the moment. But yeah, just three features. If somebody remembers the other two there, I'm sorry, I'm just a little scattered with this thing trying to rug on me.
I think he could catch the playback as well, Devon. There's a lot of stuff that was said that he did go over some stuff that what the Sara token would include and won't include. So you could check the playback when we're finished, and it will answer some of the questions that you have too.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, it was the three features enabled will be minting, burning, and IBC compatibility. So other than that, all those other features that we know and love are switched off.
It's that Lesba. You have a question? Alexa? Sorry.
Yes. How are you guys? This is Lebogang, basically, all the way from South Africa. It's been good to be part of the Coreum community. Started all the way with solo Coreum, and now we are here. So I've been actually playing around on the Coreum mainnet. Specifically, moving my Coreum to other blockchain or osmosis and all other noble. So from my side, I just wanted to understand whether the Coreum, is it fully integrated with IBC at the moment, or is it a 50% done? Because some of the features, I cannot move my core between this, I cannot swap and all those things. Thanks.
I'm sorry. Chris, are you there? I'm sorry, Lebza. Can you just repeat that again? I'm really sorry. I didn't catch that.
Okay, no problem. I was saying I've been playing around with on the Leap wallet, right? With Coreum. So I just wanted to know if the Coreum token, is it fully integrated now with IBC?
Oh yes. It is.
Okay. So my other question is because in terms of swapping the token, right? The IBC, I see it's working, but swapping the token between core and other token. For example, if I have my core and I wanna swap to the USDC, right? I'm not sure if it's me that is actually having difficulties, or did you guys have a clue on how to do that?
Okay, I got you. So I did a tutorial that breaks down exactly the steps you need to take to get that done. It's not just a simple swap to the USDC. You'd have to convert, if you're doing Coreum or another IBC enabled coin, you could swap that to the Noble USDC, and then you do a send to my wallet. You look for my main Coreum in your wallet, and then it will put that USDC on the Coreum blockchain into your wallet. So the steps are, it is in the top of the chat right here. You could scroll through, and it will be titled "How to Get USDC on Coreum." You could go through those steps. I did it with the Leap wallet as well, so you should find some value there and help you get that sorted out. Thank you for your question, man.
Yeah, I see L1's here. Thanks for joining us again. Anybody has any questions for Elwin? He's our guy. Thanks for coming up.
I think the space is giving some issues. Hold
Yeah, it
on.
looks like we might be starting to rug.
Yeah.
Kris from Fife Farm, I was hoping to get you up. You started something on Coreum here that I'm really proud of. You've been kind enough to involve your treasury with both our validators that we're running here, Coreum Community DAO and the CAF LSI Lunarspace one. If the space will hold up, tell us about that real quick if you can.
Yeah, guys. So, for those who are familiar with me, I run Fight Farm over on the OmniFlix network. Uh, it's a really good NFT platform. They focus on NFTs primarily, but probably more in a different way than you're used to because they're really focused about like digital rights management. They have their own version of YouTube called OmniFlix TV, which Kris has some really good videos over there that can let you do interactive videos. Of course, articulates over there with music. It's a really vibrant place, and one of my key goals is as someone who is in the cosmos as a whole. Yes, I want to help educate other people in the cosmos about Coreum, but I also want to make sure that the Coreum people coming in, specifically XRP, Solo, people who may not be as Atom and Cosmos and IBC heavy, right? Some people have pretty good experience with this stuff, like Kris and Articulate, but many people that come over to Coreum are relatively new, right? So it's our job to make sure we educate you. In order to do that, I basically do collaborative NFT drops. My NFTs focus on a game that is a staking rewards game. 55% of every single NFT that we sell, it goes to our treasury, and then we reward people from that treasury based on the NFTs that you hold. Anytime we have a UFC fight coming up, when you hold an NFT that's pegged to that fighter, you're allowed to earn rewards from that rewards pool if that fighter wins. So our NFTs are actually pegged to a real world sporting event, and your rewards are based on the outcome of that sporting event. So that's kind of unique in a certain way because it's not like a regular staking rewards game. This one's tied to a real world sporting event, and you can kind of think of that idea that you could spread it to almost anything in the real world. I think utility NFTs are going to be the next big wave coming up in the next bull market. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to utilize my skill set and my collection to help educate both Coreum users and other IBC chain users like OmniFlix about Coreum. And one way to do that is to launch a collection that specifically rewards people and provides a space for education, gives a space for AMAs. And one of the things that we did was the very first NFT I created was a Coreum themed branded fight for the upcoming UFC 237 match, I believe on February the 24th. It's a UFC card that's free on ESPN. It's not a pay per view, so everyone should be able to have access to watch it if you have ESPN. It's going to be between two fighters. One is Jair Rodriguez, and the other one is Brian Ortega. So we have two NFTs that are pegged to them, and you can see the Coreum branding on it. When you purchase those NFTs, 55% of those sales goes to purchase Coreum, and then we return the support right here to the Coreum Community DAO's validator and to the CAF validator. We have two separate pools. One of the pools goes to the Fight Farm NFT holders. So we help use that Coreum to pay out the winners when they hold an NFT for the winning fighter. But the other part of the pools goes directly to a separate collection. The name of that collection over on OmniFlix is called Coreum Plus OmniFlix. We have something called POP NFTs. POP stands for Proof of Participation. So anytime you buy a Coreum branded NFT from me, you're going to get a separate NFT that is for the Coreum Plus OmniFlix collection. And that's the collection where we'll reward you as a user. We're going to have our own staking rewards that we pay out. We have some founders NFTs for that collection. We have a private Discord channel where you can verify you own the POP NFT. And it's all about building community. It's about rewarding the community, and it's about educating you guys on how IBC works, how OmniFlix works, and to help people outside of Coreum understand the value proposition that Coreum brings and how XRP liquidity coming over to the cosmos as a whole is going to be a good thing. One of the things that we're doing, Kris, and I've already reached out some of the people in here. If you watch the Discord, you see these conversations taking place. I've been talking to some other projects here. This isn't just about me creating my own Coreum branded NFT and then selling it and staking. What I'm trying to do is work with other projects. I want to bring awareness to the entire Cosmos IBC, not just about Coreum, but about specific projects on Coreum. So whether you're an NFT project, maybe like the Coreum Punks, maybe you're a DeFi project like WHelp or Pulsara, anyone that is launching a project over here on Coreum, please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you because the whole goal here is to do co-branded NFTs that helps create money that we put back into the pool and helps reward our community and our customers and helps us educate them on all the Cosmos IBC. It also brings awareness to your brand and it kind of gives them something really, really cool. And it's not just about NFTs, guys. After hearing what Pulsara said today on their token creation, I already have plans for my own Bets token as a Cosmos based token, but I've already got some ideas in my mind on how to have a Coreum Bets token, a C Bets token, right here on Coreum, and how to utilize that for these different collections we have. So that's just a general overview. If you guys have questions, you can always find me on the Discord. I host my own spaces. I do interviews over here with Kris. Feel free to reach out to me via DM here on Twitter or X, or reach out to me either in the main Discord channel. Kris can also tell you I'll do certain things like questions and quizzes and things over on the Discord channel. There's a YouTube channel and an IBC channel there. So go check out those channels on the Discord if you want to learn more about Cosmos and IBC as a whole. We're here to educate. We give away some NFTs and some rewards. So I'm here to help grow the community. And thank you for having me and letting me participate and be part of the community.
Ralphie, I'll get to you right away. Kris, I just wanted to thank you so much. I stumbled across Kris and Fight Farm just attending OmniFlix Spaces. I'm not a Fight fan. I don't follow that, but clearly his project, like he said, can apply to many different things. That's what caught my interest. I've done a great interview with him. You can definitely check that out. But I want to say, Kris, not just thank you for coming today and sharing your project, but since you've joined our Discord, I got to say, like, you're not just providing the knowledge for IBC and that, because it is a great spot. We've made a place for you within our Discord to do that, and Snails, he's there too. That's another interesting project I encourage everybody to check into from IBC. But what I really want to thank you for is the drive. You know, just pushing people. Let's collaborate. Let's go. Like, I've seen powerful connections that you've made on the Cosmos ecosystem there, just real time in a space, and that's what I really like that you brought to our ecosystem, is just pushing people just to get up and start building and get moving. It's exciting times, and I really appreciate you, everything you brought to that. And Ralphie, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit short on time, and I do have to jump off. But before I left, man, honestly, look, for a network to actually move forward, adoption is key, and I think that you yourself, Kris, and everything that everybody's doing is doing a great job at onboarding people, educating them on the actual network, and how to move around, where to stake, where to do all of that. And to touch on Kris's point, look, we have Core Apes V1. We did an amazing job. We onboarded a ton of members onto XRP that weren't there already, and obviously when we launch V2, that's going to be on Coreum. So the job is not finished, and we will take on that task of onboarding a ton of new users over to Coreum, getting them a Coreum wallet, and really expanding the network, getting people to interact with the network as well. Utilize, Pulsara, utilize the NFT marketplaces, and really interact with the network. So I'll take you up on that, on growing the NFT side and growing, the DeFi side of Coreum. And yeah, we're gonna be as part of it as we are on the XRPL. Obviously, 2024 V2 Core Apes will be coming out on Coreum. So let's do our part. Let's do our part to grow and kind of bring Coreum to the attention of all of the Cosmos ecosystem and beyond. But with that being said, guys, appreciate the space. I love everything that you do, Kris, and articulate in the rest of your team. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Well, Core Apes has some exciting things coming up. Ralphie, I did Saucy did create a space for you in Discord there. If you want to utilize that just as a link to what you guys are doing, your Discord, whatever it is, that space is there for you.
Thank you, man. You guys rock. You guys are honestly amazing. I love everything that you guys do. And that Discord is amazing, guys. If you aren't in there, jump in there. There is a plethora of information there, and they answer any questions that you have. So make sure you jump in there and get to know some of the people that are educating out here. But yeah, guys, thank you. If I have a chance, I'll jump back in, but I do gotta go to a meeting. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for all you and Leo do on Flippin' Hodl podcast. Again, it's usually on when I'm working. I catch it on the replay a lot of times. I wish I could contribute more than I do, but you guys are providing great service out there, and I just want to thank you again for that. Floor is open. Anybody's welcome to come up. We've got still lots that we haven't even touched on yet. It's been a busy few weeks for sure, but Lunarspace has got some exciting things coming up. I brought Marco up here. Maybe real first I see Kris. Kris, go ahead.
Hey, quick question for you guys, Kris. I was pretty fascinated by what he was talking about with the send. What was it? The send, basically the fee where you could tax the send feature. That's a pretty cool idea, and I know that you guys are looking at creating your Coreum community DAO token. What are your thoughts on that as far as like how you might use that fee, and would you have it go back to the DAO? Is that kind of like what you have in mind?
Oh, wow. I wish you could have joined us in Discord last night. There was a few of us in there until the wee hours of the morning here. I don't think I got to bed till 3 a.m, but we're talking about just that. Actually, I see that as a great opportunity and tool to use as a rewards token to incentivize the community. And then, yeah, with that feature specifically, anytime it's transferred, it carries that basically a tax with it that we can direct right back to the main DAO treasury, so that community decides what happens with all of that. It doesn't even have to go through our hands, right? So I see it as a powerful tool and a way to keep kind of that reward token economy going within the ecosystem. Obviously, I've shared the white paper with you. That's what we're discussing. I look forward to further discussions with you. We haven't had a chance to meet up since you looked at it there, but I certainly look forward to it.
And do you think you'll both tax and burn? Is that kind of the idea? Because the burn function will lower the supply, which should increase the value. Or do you think it'll just be the send tax?
Well, that's the balance that we're trying to come up with. We have a few people that we want to consult with about that. Part of me says keep the supply on the lower side. I just that's kind of the way I see it. That way you don't have as many tokens out there to worry about as far as the DAO goes. So in that case, you'll probably not utilize the burn feature. But if it makes more sense to use a larger token, we have some larger plans, I guess, within the DAO that would require some token usage also. So if you went with a larger supply, then I would probably want to lean towards having that burn feature also. So definitely in progress, and we need the community to really step up. Like, we're trying to really move this forward. We've done the best we can, but we will really important to us that we build a solid foundation. So we really want people to pick it apart, challenge us, give us new ideas. But at the same time, we don't want to drag this on for a long time. It's been up there for a while, and I appreciate people like yourself and a couple other community members lately, rolling up their sleeves and seeing what they can do with that. But we've got a lot of work to do in a short period of time, and I'll certainly be bouncing some ideas off you here in the days ahead.
Yeah, and one more thing I wanted to throw in on that. Over on Juno, when I first created like the first bets token as kind of like the test token for DAO, there was a feature that you could do and I actually didn't create it on DAO. There was a separate service to create tokens on Juno at the time, even before DAO was officially out. One of the things I was curious, and I really should have asked Pulsara, but maybe L1 would know, because it sounds like some of these token creation features are more of a Coreum thing than a Pulsara thing. But whenever you edit the token and you launch it, over on Juno, you could launch it and you could lock it in, meaning that if you set it with a burn rate and you set it with a tax rate, or you set it with whatever the criteria of that token creation was, you could lock it and there was no way to change it. However, there was also a way to keep the token unlocked, and then maybe you start off with a burn rate of, say, a higher percentage burn rate, and then over time the DAO votes to lower that percentage or do away with it. So I'm curious, like on these token creations, if the features, like once you set it, that's locked in on that, or will they be editable later, maybe via DAO governance?
One's giving a thumbs up. I don't know if he's having mic issues. More welcome to come up and answer that. I'm definitely not the guy to answer that. I'm
But the
eager
question
to
makes
learn.
sense, though, right? Like what I'm
No,
saying
I
makes
understand
sense.
what you're
Okay, good.
asking for sure, 100%. Yeah, I just, like I said, especially with Alan and Reza here, I certainly don't want to attempt to try and answer that properly.
Yeah, and I'm sure once we see these token minting features launched on Pulsara, it should be pretty evident whether you lock that in or whether you don't. I'm just curious because there's benefits to both. If you lock it in, there's no chance that someone could change it and maybe cause issues for the community of the token later on, right? It's like what you see is what you get. It's set in stone. However, if you wanted to have a token where you start off with a 10% burn rate in the first year, and then this, an 8% the second year, and a 6%, minimize that as you go along, it would be nice if you could just edit that, and if the DAO decided to take it to zero or to up the tax rate. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to have that editable, especially if the address controlling it was a DAO address, so it wasn't just one person that could go in and make a change, but you had to do it as a community.
Yeah, for sure. I was reading through the documentation there last night, and there's part of me that wants to answer that, but again, I'm just not confident enough to do that here.
I'm gonna go read that tonight. I forgot y'all posted that, so maybe it's in there, and I just need to go check it out there.
I'm not sure if it has to do with the access control list of people who are admins who have access to, I guess, do other edits to portions. I'm not sure. I can't even answer it fully, but yeah, I was hoping L1 or someone would be able to. But yeah, it's in the documentation, Kris, and I'm sure you'll find the answer there.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Because I am going to have a token now. I've already decided. I'm getting excited because I'm already excited to read what you guys are doing with the DAO token. But when you think about having like the Coreum plus OmniFlix thing and how you can use tokens to reward people that buy these NFTs and participate in all that, or participate in quizzes, like a token's a really unique, cool way to reward them. And then if you can get that paired up and liquidity over on Pulsara, that gives it some sort of monetary value. So I'm excited now.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to the team soon about that, and so yeah, if anybody wants to jump in Discord, we're trying to present a solid plan of what our vision is and what we want to do with that, and we got a lot of it kind of in our minds and on paper a bit, but we just kind of want to sharpen the pencils up and put that forward. So I encourage everybody. I'll probably be in there again late tonight. If anybody wants to join in, the white paper is available on the website, CoreumCommunityDAO.com. There's a link for the white paper. It's rough. That's not meant to be a final draft. That's just, our work in progress draft there for people to pick apart. So it needs some finishing, some details. I got another copy I'm working on here, but that's what we're here to do. It's a community project. It's never been the intention to roll out my plan. Probably not the smartest, brightest person to roll out a plan like that. So I really need the people around me. I got a great team around me, all chipping in, doing what we can. We've onboarded some great partners like Kris from the IBC network, XRP Ledger crew. I'm trying to round up as many of them as possible, as I see so much liquidity trapped over there that is just not looking this direction yet. But we're trying, and I want everybody to chip in and build this right. I really think that the technology that we're being given with Coreum and Pulsara and Lunarspace is going to have some amazing tools available. And I have this DAO launched. It's on DAO ready to go. But I've been really just want to launch it on Coreum if I can. It's great if it can interoperate, but it really excites me if I could launch it right on Coreum first off. But I'm going to try and nail that down the days ahead. So if anybody wants to jump in and get to work with me, I appreciate it. Marco's up here. He's been doing a lot of work on the Lunarspace end of it and the Coreum Community DAO. He's a big part of CAF, the robot you see. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him. I don't know, Marco, if you want to take a minute to talk about CAF and what's going on with him.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? I just want to take a swing at this real quick since Kris from Five Farm was talking about it. So I don't know if this has anything to do with what you were saying, but just to read a little bit of the smart token features, they're going to have permission minting quotas and limits, time-based minting restrictions, role-based access controls, multi-signature approval, minting conditions and triggers, auditability and transparency, and upgradable and customization. So I'm not sure if that helps any bit, but that's what I got.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so to answer your question, Kris, so the Sara token is a smart token, right? So it means that it inherits all of this function while it's on the Coreum blockchain. But when it leaves the Coreum blockchain, let's say it goes to Juno, I think you took as an example, like it will not have those smart features anymore.
Gotcha. And as far as like whenever you create the token, are you able to lock the features so after you create it and begin minting, you can no longer either mint anymore or make any changes to the functionality of the token? Do you have both the option to lock it in place and leave it open to edit features, or is it just something where once you create it, it is what you have?
Okay, I see. So you're asking like if the features that you enable once you deploy and you create the smart token are definitives, right?
Right. Like, because sometimes you want to, some people want to be able to deploy a token and say, hey, if the total supply is this and it has this feature and this burn rate and this tax rate, they want to be able to lock it and know that no one can change it. And then there's times where you might want to leave that open so that different features can be added and changed by the community or by the team.
I see. So for the features, for let's say for example, I create a new smart token that have the mint functionality and burn functionality. I will not be able like to remove those functions afterward that the token is issued, but I'll be able to add some new features. I'll be able like to upgrade this token and, for example, add the freeze feature afterward.
Okay, perfect, awesome. Thanks for that explanation.
Now that we have L1s, anybody else have any maybe more technical questions to ask him if he doesn't mind while he's here? Come on up, send a request, I'll pull you up. And then so while I got your attention, L1, like for my selfish reasons, I guess, as far if you know, as far as me wanting to start up a DAO, like I said, I have it kind of spun up, ready to go on DAO. How soon, or can that happen now, or what? Should I be waiting? What's your opinion on that, if you have one?
First of all, guys, I'm sorry, I forgot like to wish Happy New Year to everyone. So Happy New Year, everyone. So the question is like, should you wait that we deploy DAO on Coreum, or should you deploy your own smart contract? That is the question.
Well, I was just wondering more if you had any insight on the grantees, like, I know Lunarspace is in here. Is there any projects that are ready? Like, I'm not technical enough to definitely deploy a smart contract for a DAO. I need a tool like DAO. Is there going to be something for a person like me to launch a DAO on Coreum soon? Like token wise, clearly Pulsara offers us an opportunity to launch a token there. But as far as any projects that would have any DAO tooling, is there something that's coming up closer? Just whatever you can provide as timeline for that.
I don't have no timeline to give you, but there is one project that will enable. I don't know if it's DAO. I mean, it's not DAO, but like kind of the same way that you can do on Juno, for example, like to provide a graphical user interface for you to deploy easily a DAO on Coreum.
Okay, and just to make sure I understand it right, though, if I continue on with the DAO that I've created on DAO, I should be able to interact with it properly, because it's IBC connected, right?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm not sure it should. Like, you mean, for example, let's say you have like you're doing like the governance of this DAO on with a token, right? And you would like to create another DAO on Coreum and have the same token that does the governance, right? That will be how you do the link between the two.
Yeah, well, I guess more. Once it becomes available on Coreum, I should be able to, as a DAO or as a community agrees to port, being everything's IBC, connected. I should be able to port any wallets, resources over if I choose to. Like I don't mind launching on DAO, but like I said, I really want to be a Coreum based DAO if possible. So I'm just kind of making sure if I start here on DAO and transition over later, if that's something reasonable, or if I should just be waiting until we can actually deploy on Coreum. Again, I don't expect you to know the answer. I'm just asking.
No, that's a good question. But so IBC enable you like to send arbitrary messages from one chain to another. So and I'm not sure, like I have to study this more, but from what I'm thinking, you should have like two set of smart contract on both of the chains, and then you will communicate within those two chains with IBC, right? You could send arbitrary messages on those two DAO for them to interact in a sense, but for example, like if you have some states on the smart contract that is on Dodo, that is on Juno, sorry, that you deploy with Dodo, I'm not sure that you will be able like to transfer those states directly into Coreum or any other chains.
Yeah. Okay. Well, worst case scenario, the assets themselves, we could determine just to move them from off of there to, just because the assets themselves will obviously be able to interoperate. So yeah. I think so. I see Henry popped up. Maybe he can offer something on the tooling end of it. That's you're more welcome to jump in here, Henry, if you want.
Yeah. Hey guys. Great space so far. It's been super long, super informative. I love the length that we've gone. Sunday is a great day to spend a few hours on talking about some of this stuff. And I wasn't gonna come up and raise my hand to speak because we have some things lined up for this week where we're gonna go into a lot of detail about what I do want to speak about. But I heard you saying DAO and Juno. We come from Juno. Our first developments were on Juno, and Coreum turned out to be a much more articulate place for us to put our soulbound tokens and our reward tokens. So I kind of had to jump in here because you're talking about DAOs. DAO was one of the first projects that I spoke to. I got our initial developers from DAO. And that's been something that we've wanted to do with Lunarspace is both an intra-zone DAO and an outer zone DAO. So the intra-zone DAOs will be for all the zones ecosystem clients, standard zones, and enterprise zones will have their own say on the operational platform itself. So there will be a governance mechanism there. And then on the outer zone, that would be something where people can, validators, founder zones, a lot of different supporters of Lunarspace and Coreum and the IBC community can spin up their own DAOs and manage them on the Zones ecosystem. So I just wanted to give that little tidbit. We have a lot of things that we're building right now, a lot of different concepts we're going over, and that's probably, if we're in phase 1 of our build with our reward tokens, that would be phase 1A. So that's on our horizon. So I just get excited. I get excited hearing you guys talk about DAOs and the need for DAOs in this community.
Well, I appreciate you jumping up, and I'm very excited about the Lunarspace project, as you know, and I know just because of the holidays we haven't had a great amount of time to talk about that. But yeah, okay, I look forward to talking to you more about that specifically in the future. Is obviously an imminent need of mine to get at least get the path forward sorted out. You know, I don't have to solve this tomorrow, but I really at the point where I want to know my path forward. And like I said, if I'm at the point now where I deploy where I am on DAO and move it over here, if that's even possible, or if it's just a matter of waiting a little bit to continue to work with you and what you guys are doing, because I'm very excited about that. So that would all work well together. And I kind of had a suspicion it would, but again, just for timing wise, we haven't had a chance to button that up. So I appreciate you stepping up to kind of put my brain at ease on that for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're extremely excited about it, especially our partnership together. I think it'll be a good starting point for obviously you guys as a founder zone being kind of like a not a guinea pig, but helping us through the journey of this initial DAO, because we're gonna roll it out. Everything we do, we're rolling out slowly and safely, and our initial founder zones are going to be seeing the most benefits from all of this early stuff. So yeah, we're super excited about that amongst a lot of other things that we got going on. So just thank you for letting me up. I'm gonna turn my mic off now and just continue listening. It's been a treasure trove of info, this space. So
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I know we're getting together next week, same place, same time here with you guys, and I really look forward to that. My resources are available to you between now and then. Obviously, at any time, you know how to get a hold of me if you want to do something on YouTube or on the we can spin up another X space anytime. Whatever you guys need to get the message out, we're here. We're here to help. We're partners and want to grow this thing together. So really excited to work with you guys. I guess that's a good segue to get back to Marco and CAF, because CAF ended up being a big part of that whole project.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? So just to touch base on CAF just a little bit, the idea behind CAF is just pretty much educate the community about Coreum, but break it down in a simple way that everyone can understand, but at the same time, have it entertaining and engaging. So not only the Coreum community can understand and learn, all communities, all blockchains. So we don't just want to just do it for Coreum, we want to do it for everyone.
Yeah, that's great, and I've been seeing a lot of that on the Cosmos ecosystem with partnerships like Kris with FlixBets. There, you know, it's the education component of it, like just these projects just providing that little bit of educational content for a variety of different blockchains. It's so valuable, because I'm a content creator, but I also have a 9-to-5 job. I'm working full time trying to do this channel, everything else around it. I don't have the time a lot of times just to, as simple as it is, just put out a tutorial video on this or that. As much as I want to, I know there's a need for it. You know, and that's what's great about having a good community and good partners like Articulate's just been helping tremendously with the community with the tutorials that he's been putting out. And we need more of that. Like, the more the merrier. The Snails project, he's all about, like, what he's doing for content creators is amazing. And I'm so happy that he's in our Discord, because it's for somebody that's just starting, like I was just over a year ago, you know, no following, just want to start up a channel. He's providing a platform for those new content creators to start a channel and start earning off of their content immediately. I've been doing this channel for over a year. My official YouTube earnings is $19. And I haven't even been able to claim it yet, actually. So it's not official earned until it's in my bank. But you know, my point is, like, there's so many powerful tools and that are now able to interact with our community It's important that we get that message out and really highlight these projects that are really providing spectacular tools, but also examples of what we can do and build on our project, because the technology is so close to the same, that base layer technology. So, it's just a great community to look to as far as ideas and what worked, what didn't work. So I encourage everybody to do that. As I mentioned earlier, we created a space for Kris and Snails and anybody else in IBC that wants to jump in. I'm looking forward to a couple interviews with some IBC content creators, Cosmos content creators that I've met through Kris and OmniFlix crew there. So, we're all helping each other, and that's what I'm most excited about, and that's why I'm eager to build this DAO with the people that we have here already. So. I think CAF, to go expand on Marco, I think CAF's going to be a great tool to do that, because he, again, doesn't have to speak to any one blockchain or project. And as projects build on Coreum, I just see a reoccurring need for CAF and what he's going to bring to our community. So I appreciate, everything you've done there, Marco, because you put a lot of work into that.
No problem. That's what I'm here for.
I don't have any new requests. Anybody wants to come up? It's been a great space, a lot of information to unpack. It'll be another one that I obviously have to listen to again. I will have it up on YouTube later tonight. Sometimes for me, it's easier to review them on YouTube. That will be there. But I don't know. Articulate. Marco, you guys have anything else to add today?
I just want to say that this has been a super space, the Superledger podcast, another great episode full of information and great synergy. And I'm just so grateful for this community. Looking forward to what we're building and what Coreum is building in general, and to utilize the technology to create solutions, for everyday people. We have builders in the space right now who are doing super things, just thinking next level enterprise down to the grassroots. So I'm just happy to be here. Thank you guys for coming out today, and looking forward to next week. We'll have Lunarspace, and that's going to be another power packed, information filled podcast, and this has been another great episode. Thank you, Kris.
Yeah, also, I just want to say thank you to everybody and give a special thanks to Kris from Fight Farms. He's really been a good asset to have in the Discord, and the quizzes have been amazing. He posted a video for everyone to watch, and pretty much one of the questions was, what is a relayer? So I had the liberty of going ahead and answering that question. But it's just been a fun time, and I really like it, and hope I encourage to do more of those videos and more quizzes for everybody.
Oh, thanks for Marco. You actually reminded me something. Seeing as L1's here, Reza mentioned a couple weeks ago about the two-way bridge for the XRPL and the need for a relayer there. I've been snooping around on IBC. I was just wondering, as far as community getting involved, is that something us as a validator contributing infrastructure needs? Is that something that can be done on a low code level like we are with a validator, or is that something where you need that higher level technical expertise to manage?
So for the bridge, so actually we have a paper, an article probably that is coming out next week that will explain how the bridge is going to work. So it's going to be a really nice article. It's not going to be too technical, but it's going to give a good outline of how coins are being moved from one chain to another. To be a relayer on this bridge, so it's a permission bridge, right? So that means that not anyone can participate. So it's not really the.
A little muffled. I think your mic is not clear enough.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Still sounds a little.
All right, give me one sec.
should be better.
Yes, yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Yeah, man, you pay for like $200 airports and it's not working. So yeah, what I was saying is that so the bridge, the two-way bridge, so it's not a fully decentralized bridge in a sense that you need to be accredited to participate. So to start to relay between those two chains, so the XRP ledger and Coreum. The reason we want actual validators to be relaying for this bridge is more like it's not required on a technical level. It's more for required on a trust level, right? So we want partners that we know that we can vet for that have been validating on the network for a certain amount of time to be those preferred validators, relayers. Sorry. On the technical side of things, it's gonna be really easy for those relayers to spin up their software, right? So, for example, if I do the analogy with what relayers are doing for Cosmos, right? So the IBC relayers, so they just spin up what we call light client that is going to be responsible to pick messages from one chain and transfer them to another chain. The Coreum bridge is going to be pretty much the same, so it's going to be a really light software that is going to run inside a Docker container, so a really small instance of a Docker container. So it's going to be really plug and play to run. So no technical expertise or maintenance needed. That has all been done by the team.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate you answering that. I look forward to reviewing that when it comes over. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and actually, so we did put for all of you guys that are validating on the Coreum network. There is a Discord, and we did create a new Telegram channel with all of the mainnet validators. So if you're not in this group, please feel free to put a message on Discord, and I'll add you to the Telegram group. In this group, we have a link. It's a form for you to complete if you want to become a relayer for this new bridge that is coming pretty soon. But you have to be already a validator on the Coreum network.
Excellent. Appreciate it. That's fantastic. Well, another powerful space, guys. Why I don't even know what to say. It just keeps getting better and better. 2024 starts a sign of things to come. We're in for a good time, that's for sure. Wrap this one up a little bit shorter than usual, if you can say short after 2 hours, but it was just solid, and I really appreciate everybody that's come and contributed. Appreciate everybody that's shared the word and spread the message out there about the podcast and getting the response that we have. It's providing a very powerful tool for our community, and I couldn't be more proud and happy to work with the guys that I'm doing and partners with Henry Lunarspace there. Really look forward to that. Kris, Five Farms, I know we got lots of conversations coming up still, and Coreum team, I appreciate your guys' support. It means the world to us, and we're really thankful for what you're building, and our resources are always here for you if we can help you get any message out. So I think with that, we'll wind this down. I don't know if we can make it any better today, so appreciate you guys. Peace and prosperity to you all.
This year I'm sure they're on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure the storm is here, but it won't stay. Where there is a will, there must be a way. Me have to win, come what may. Clasp my hands every day, I pray. Nah, I can lose cause me not confused. Every time positivity me choose. So many open doors, it's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. They on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. Lyrics are pour from my heart. Tunes for you climb up the chart. Destiny create me path. Remain humble, don't exalt. Lockdown life rough. We can't do too much. Wait till COVID up. A big dance we a bust. Make sure you prepare yourself, cause when the clock strike 12, things get dark, dark start back. You a go ball out hell. So many open doors, it's hard to ignore. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure. They on a virtual tour. Girl, them a bubble to the floor. Every year was my year, but this year I'm sure.